Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular NewsMax Daily podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of NewsMax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the NewsMax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now. You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show. It is a Thanksgiving Monday. Thanksgiving Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Please come inside. I know a lot of people are taking some people are taking the week off, for crying out loud. If you watch the news, a lot of people taking the week off. I'm not taking the week off. I'm taking Friday off. I got busy this weekend. I made my world famous Rob Carson's candied jalapenos for Christmas, which have craisins and a cinnamon stick in it. I know. That's my life. I live in an apartment by myself, and I made candied jalapenos this week. And by the way, it's not cowboy candy, all right? That's pickled candied jalapenos. I do my own Carson's holiday candied jalapenos. So there's a little different. I almost got in 2 fights this weekend too. One time at the gym, guy hit me in the back of the back of the head. He was doing some something with the ropes behind me, and I turned around. He was mad at me. I said, "Dude, you're in front of me." I was looking the other direction. He ended up shaking his hand, saying, "No big deal." Went to a bar with a date. I went on a date, and we were at this restaurant, and I went up to get her a glass of wine and me a Diet Coke, and bumped this guy on the shoulder. He's a pretty big guy, but I'm not exactly a diminutive character, by the way. And he kind of said, "You're in my space." And I said, "Well, I'm kind of a big guy, And I said, because he was really pissed. And I said to the bartender, "Can I buy this man a drink?" And this guy stopped and he goes, "I am sorry for being such an a-hole." And guess what? He's a Marine and his wife is a Marine. They were both sitting there. He was up late the night before because his best friend, his wife, left him for TDS. I know, I can relate. 2 stories this weekend about wives leaving husbands because they love Donald Trump. It literally, one good friend and one I just met at the bar. And anyway, he says, "I'm really sorry." And I ended up talking on the phone with him, and we're going to be hanging out this Saturday. Made a friend, almost got in a fight, and then ended up making a friend. It was a pretty wild weekend. It was a wild weekend. I took it all in, man. I took it all in. Because I am not here to mess around, man. I am not here to mess around. I'm here to enjoy my life. And so, we're going to start with some good news.
We love to win. Winning, so much winning. It's lots of winning, 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 lots of winning. It's oh so good.
Did you know, and I mean the Trump economy is so terrible if you listen to the liberal media. Oh my God, Donald Trump, and he promised that inflation was going to go down on day one, and well, no, it has. It's gone down really dramatically. And this, by the way, this Thanksgiving, the biggest travel day in American history. People don't travel when they got no money. All right? They spend money and they travel when they got money, you see. And so it's going to be the biggest Thanksgiving, the biggest travel day in U.S. history is going to happen this week. So there you go. Also, the cost of a traditional Thanksgiving meal is down sharply this year, falling to the lowest price since 2021 when Joe Biden blew up inflation with his Inflation Reduction Act, which did nothing but drive up inflation to the highest place in 50 years. That's what Joe Biden did. And the Democrats were like, no, it wasn't the worst in history. The worst was back in 1910. Well, you know what? None of us were alive in 1910, but we were all alive 4 years ago. Well, not all of them, but I don't think I have any toddlers listening to the show. That said, Farmers Bureau's 40th anniversary survey found that the Thanksgiving dinner for 10 people will cost $55. Oh, sure, you betcha. Good luck with that. Good luck with a 55 for 10 people. You're high. You're out of your nut. But anyway, if you're going to go bare bones, you're going to get your turkey. You're going to get your sweet potatoes, your cubed, they call it cubed stuffing, your dinner rolls, your frozen peas, really, fresh cranberries, I'd rather have the stuff out of the can, to be quite honest. I got no problem with canned cranberry sauce. Celery, carrots, pumpkin pie mix and crust, whipping cream, hello, and whole milk. $53.33. When Joe Biden was the president of the United States, it went up to $64.05. By Biden's final Thanksgiving, the price of the traditional family holiday was 24% higher than it was when he took office. And you may remember when Joe Biden was the president, rather than the winning jingle, we had this.
Crap touch.
Yeah, crap touch.
Crap touch.
Yeah, he had the crap touch. Everything that he touched turned to crap. And then he stopped touching, except for little girls when he was sniffing their hair. But they used the auto pen to touch everything else. And of course, the price of Thanksgiving went through the friggin' ceiling. So there you go. That's some good news. Scott Bessent was on the Sunday Talks, and he thinks that next year is going to be outstanding, and so do I.
I am very confident about 2026 because what we are going to see is the president has done peace deals, tax deals, and trade deals.
It's true, yep.
The one big, beautiful bill.
Yeah, he did that.
And
it's going to kick in on January the 1st.
To go back to affordability, affordability has two components.
Yeah.
So it's
you got enough money to pay for the stuff that you want.
Price of goods and real incomes.
Yeah.
So under the one big, beautiful bill, especially for working Americans, no tax on tips, no tax.
No tax on tips is going to be huge.
On overtime, no tax on
No tax on overtime. Hello.
Social Security, auto deductible.
No tax on Social Security. Social Security. See, this is why the Democrats are trying to C-block everything that Donald Trump does, because when these Social Security recipients don't have any money taken out of their checks, which, by the way, is double jeopardy because you paid damn Social Security your entire life for the pittance they give you, that's going to be big.
Auto deductibility and loans for American cars, that's all kicking in. Americans have not changed their withholding, so we're going to see substantial refunds to working families in the first quarter of 2026.
And this is why the Democrats are pulling all sorts of stupid crap, like telling the military they should disobey orders. They should disobey orders. We have the Seditious Six, are the group of people that told people for the first time in American history, to do such a thing. And I said this on Friday. I said, this is the first time in U.S. history 6 sitting members of Congress suggested that military members and the CIA defy the orders of the president in a vague fashion, which means basically a sedition.
This is something that no generation of American has ever seen, not in 250 years of constitutional history. A group of sitting members of Congress, senators and representatives, went on camera and told active duty military personnel and the CIA to ignore orders of the President of the United States.
This was shy of firing on Fort Sumter, the closest to trying to start a civil war we've ever seen.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
What message is that sending to the rest of the world? For the first time in American political history, members of the United States Congress openly encouraged the military to look at the commander-in-chief and say, no. You can say, and it's reasonable to say, well, this is just advice, right? It's a reminder that you don't follow illegal orders.
Yes.
Sounds reasonable until you look at history.
Yes.
Because history has a merciless way of identifying patterns long before politicians will admit to them.
Yes.
In the entire American experiment, there are only a handful of moments anything like this has occurred.
Yes.
And every single one of those was a moment that was a prelude to national fracture. 1860 to 1861. It was the secession winter.
Yes.
Southern leaders encouraged officers at the federal level and forts to abandon the Union and pledge loyalty to the states. Not normal politics. This was the beginning of the rupture, and then came Fort Sumter.
Yes.
What
did I say?
70, Reconstruction. Some states rejected federal authority outright. Sheriffs, militias, even sometimes...
That's kind of what they're doing in Chicago and all sorts of Democrat-run cities and states.
Judges refused federal directives, but Congress itself, they never told the Army to ignore the president.
Yeah.
In Vietnam, Members of Congress denounced the war, denounced Nixon, denounced Johnson, but no one ever told active duty troops disobey the commander-in-chief.
And trust me, there was a lot of stuff that should have been disobeyed.
It wasn't done.
Wow.
Because
that is just...
every generation, up until this one, understood something very basic.
What's that?
You cannot politicize the chain of command without breaking the republic.
And that's what they want to do. What did I tell you? De facto civil war the last 9 years with plausible deniability. Soldiers for hire in Antifa and other radical groups that have cost billions of dollars in damage and have left a body count and casualties for the last decade. And this was the next thing. I told you that. I told you that. And Elise Slotkin was on TV this weekend, and she says she can't find a single order that Donald Trump has given that is illegal.
Well, let's talk right now. Do you believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal, but certainly there are some legal gymnastics that are going on with these Caribbean strikes and everything related to Venezuela.
Oh, no. There's nothing close to the mental gymnastics you're going through to cover your asses. This is very, very, very serious. And where adults are in charge, this can result in you going to prison. And it should. And it should. And it should. And we're about tired of all of this nonsense. We've had to endure 10 years of this temper tantrum and bullcrap, and now you have crossed a line. You know you've crossed a line. That's why you're on the weekend talk shows trying to make excuses about it, and Donald Trump is saying, you're in serious hot water. Pete Hegseth is looking into this, among others. I've got more on this on the other side of the break. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Slotkin and Mark Kelly said the military. Trump's orders they should choose to ignore. Those two are quite awful. Their actions were unlawful, and that goes for the other four. It's an outrage. It was a crime. All 6 of them should be doing time. Trump called all them traitors, as well as U.S. haters. They want to mess with his authority. The law they're clearly breaking. The prison should be taken. On that I think we all can agree. Call them out by their name. Make them hang their sorry heads in shame. This is sedition against the USA. It is sedition. These 6 ought to pay. We all are wishing for a prison stay. Democrats, it's too late. The 6 of you have sealed your fate. There's no chance you're gonna escape. No way. The sedition charge is here, and it's here to stay.
The House wants me to testify about Jeffrey Epstein, but I've got lots to cover up, if you know what I mean. They'll ask me about the island, on what went on down there. I could go and tell the truth, but I wouldn't dare. I am dodging subpoenas, and so is my wife. We will try to dodge them for the rest of our lives. We are dodging subpoenas. Comer says we'll fail, cause if we keep on dodging, he will send us to jail. We are dodging subpoenas. Could find us in contempt from prosecution. We are not exempt. We are dodging subpoenas because we are afraid. Comer's got a name.
town of Portland, I said in the guard, Antifa, they are gonna get you hard. The Democrat mayor's getting in my way. Go ahead, punks, and make my day. F around and find out. F around and find out. Schumer's gonna find out. I mean business and I'll get my way. Pencil neck and Chris Ray, for your crimes you will pay. You have both been found out. Hope you get a lengthy prison stay. Listen up, Hamas, I am warning you. Break the ceasefire and you'll be through. Democrats, hang your head in shame. For the shutdown, you're gonna get the blame. F around and find out. Mess around and find out. F around and find out. In the end, I'm gonna win the day. Find out.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
In Vietnam, members of Congress denounced the war, denounced Nixon, denounced Johnson, but no one ever told active duty troops disobey the commander-in-chief. Yep. It wasn't done. Because every generation up until this one understood something very basic. You cannot politicize the chain of command without breaking the republic. And once the military begins to decide on its own which orders are legitimate, which ones, which president they prefer, you no longer have civilian control. You no longer have a republic. You have factions inside an armed institution. And that is exactly how nations collapse. And every single one of those sitting representatives know it. Yep. Turkey, Argentina, Spain, Egypt, every single example, the pattern is always the same. Political parties begin encouraging the military to resist the other side, and the center completely collapses.
This is what they want. And we're not going to let them have it. Because I think the last time the Democrats started a civil war, it didn't end so well for them, did it? You people, I swear to God. Donald Trump on Truth Social, the traitors that told the military to disobey my orders should be in jail right now, not roaming the fake news networks trying to explain what they said and it was okay. It wasn't and never will be. It was sedition at the highest level. Sedition is a major crime. There can be no other interpretation of what they said. Amen. Many great legal scholars agree that the Democrat traitors that told the military to disobey my orders as president have committed a crime of serious proportion. And if you don't believe me, 18 U.S.C. 2387 activities affecting armed forces general. Basically, the statute makes it a crime to do any of the following: advise, urge, or attempt to cause insubordination. Ding. Disloyalty. Ding. Mutiny. Ding. Refusal of duty. Ding. Among members of the U.S. military to obstruct or attempt to obstruct recruiting, enlistment, or general military operations. These people need to be, put on trial. Yeah, I know. It's really unkind of me. But we've never seen this happen before, you see. We've never seen this happen before. It is ridiculous. And again, if you didn't hear it, this is Elise Slotkin saying she didn't know of any orders that were illegal that Donald Trump has given. You know why? Because he hasn't.
So let's talk right now. Do you believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal, but certainly there are some legal gymnastics that are going on with these Caribbean strikes. And everything related to...
Yeah, now they're coming up with something. The Caribbean strikes. No, it's completely illegal. They know they're in hot water, and they should be boiling by now. They should be boiling in the hot water right now. Here is one of the seditious six, Jason Crow, and he has been confronted by veterans who've created a message of their own.
Let's get to the content of what you had in that video you released, because there are also 15 House Republicans who are also veterans who released a video, including a retired 3-star Marine Corps general, Jack Bergman. Take a listen to this.
Troops, listen up. Any service member who refuses a lawful order is subject to court-martial for violating the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
We study what's lawful and what's not lawful, and the Democrats stunt insinuating that they're illegal or unconstitutional orders. It's downright dangerous.
It is corrosive. It is meant to weaken our country and weaken the military.
It is.
How do you respond to these allegations from your colleagues, fellow veterans, that what you have put out there is weakening and corrosive to the military?
Well, these unfortunately are some of Trump's core supporters that are rallying.
It doesn't even matter. What they're saying is truthful. You moron!
Behind the president, and they know better.
No, they don't. You know. You knew exactly what you did.
Know exactly the difference between lawful versus unlawful. We were very clear in the video that what we're talking about is unlawful orders. You have the president's spokesperson going into a press conference this past week and saying that we called for people to disobey lawful orders. They're simply...
No. You did not say what he has done that is unlawful. Everybody already knows that you can defy unlawful orders, you jerk. You jerk. He knows he's in trouble. Here's Amy Klobuchar serving up a little word salad like she knows what the hell she's talking about.
Well, it's very clear in this code.
Whenever they say it's very clear, it's never very clear.
The military, that you cannot follow unlawful orders. And, that would be, I'll just use an example. Some of the judges have now found in certain cities that it is not legal to send in the National
This is just a distraction, by the way.
Guard, and those National Guard members have come home. Some of them are still there, but if they're a commander...
And what did Donald Trump do when the judge said that it was unlawful? He canceled the order, and he's returned the troops.
We're to tell them, hey, go out on the streets and do this and that. That's not following the order that is in law.
Wow.
So I just use that example. I'm sure my colleagues would have other...
Yeah, well, they'd have an example because yours makes no sense at all. Here is Chrissy Houlihan. No, it's Houlihan. Houlihan doubling down on the nonsense.
If a sailor in the Caribbean right now is given an order that you think possibly could, there may be some there in terms of legality, is what you said.
She's a Karen with a capital K.
There. What are they to do?
So I tell this story of a very critical, crucial, sharp memory in my childhood where my dad was explaining this to me. My dad served...
we don't even care. Explain why you did it.
...a career in the Navy, as did my grandfather. And he explained to me as a girl that if you receive an order that you are not sure of, you have a duty...
Yeah, well, we already know that. And everybody knows that. Everybody who's gone through basic knows this.
...to question your commander, the person next in your chain of command. If that person says, nope, this is what the order is, and you still have an issue, you do have a duty to go up.
Again, they're trying to distract because they know they're in very, 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 very hot water, big time. Here's Scott Jennings talking about it.
The president is drawing attention to and is outraged by something that we should take note of and should be outraged by. You have Democrat members of Congress, raising the prospect that the president has given illegal orders, which no one can yet tell me what that is,
because he has
what order is illegal, and B, encouraging members of the military to defy the chain of command and disobey the commander-in-chief. And the reason they're doing it is because that's what their base demands. It's why they shut down the government. Their base demands that they try to throw sand in the gears of government operations, and that would include interrupting Donald Trump being the commander-in-chief. I think he has a right to be outraged about this.
Yeah. That's what they've been doing. That's what they've been doing for 10 years, throwing sand into the gears of Donald Trump, doing everything from impeaching him twice. You know what else wasn't ever done in history? Raiding a president's home for no good reason after he left office. It is about damn time that we grew a pair, and held these people accountable for what they have done. And repercussions from the left be damned. These people need to be charged. They need to, at the minimum, be investigated for what they tried to do. Fortunately, our military is solidly behind Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth, because Joe Biden and Barack Obama made the military suck. So there is that. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Law enforcement isn't to prevent crime. Law enforcement solves crime, not necessarily prevent them from happening.
Buffoon. Jasmine, she is a buffoon. District no longer exists. Out of the Congress real soon. I'll be glad when she's gone from D.C. No Jasmine, it will be pure bliss. I know that this may not sound PC. That mouth on her I will not miss. Buffoon. Jasmine is a total fake. Her ghetto accent's not real. How much more can we take? Buffoon. She was drawn out of her seat. Will be in Congress no longer. Her leaving will be a treat.
The Democrats shut down and them all leaving town will be a gift to me. I see it as a firing opportunity. Let the layoffs begin. America will win. Just you wait and see. The Democrats just gave me an opportunity. Now I have a chance, along with J.D. Vance, to make us more waste-free. A federal budget cutting opportunity. The budget I'll reduce when thousands are cut loose. Less bureaucracy. I will make this another opportunity. This is a big time opportunity.
Trump's new borders are, we'll clean up the mess. The mess Kamala, she did not address. Open borders, he will abort. And illegals, he will deport. Thomas Homan, he will say no, man. You must go, man. Mexico, man, you're headed back. Thomas Homan, he's a former cop. Border jumpers, Tom is gonna stop. Used to be in charge of ICE. Two illegals, Tom will not be nice. Thomas Homan, they ought to know, man. He's not a showman. Thomas Homan will kick you out.
You better start packing now.
Thomas Homan, he is your foe, man. You've got to go, man.
Threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
you can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that every order President Trump gives is lawful. Are you confident that every order that President Trump gives is lawful, Mr. Secretary?
Kristen, what I am confident of is that this was a display of gross negligence here.
Yeah.
There is one commander-in-chief, and when you step outside of the chain of command and try to create the noise and chaos, that only helps our enemies.
Are you confident, though, Mr. Secretary, that every order that President Trump gives is in fact lawful, as Caroline Leavitt has said?
I am confident of that, and I am also confident that this was a complete mistake.
And does this surprise you after 10 years of attacks against Donald Trump? The Russia collusion hoax. The Russia collusion hoax went into Donald Trump's first administration. It was an attempt at a coup. They impeached him as soon as he took office. They created a virus in a lab in China and unleashed it on the country, and then they burned down the country with their soldiers for hire. Their soldiers for hire caused $2 billion worth of damage, and it was all a big psyop because of the drug overdose death of a loser in Minneapolis. And they made it into a massive Civil War act. It was. That's what 2020 was all about. It was an act of war. It was an act of war encouraged by the Democrat Party because they didn't say a damned thing about it to counter it. They didn't say, go home, don't do this. They called for more. Then when Donald Trump was out of office and he announced he was going to run, they came up with 91 counts against him. They tried to put him in jail. They tried to take his fortune. They tried to kill him twice. And I do say they, even though the FBI says that Thomas Crooks acted on his own. Bull crap. You know why? Because it's the same damned FBI that raided Mar-a-Lago. That raided Mar-a-Lago after Donald Trump had left office. That never happened either, by the way. It did not happen either. Never in history has a president out of office, their home been raided by the FBI for no good reason. Then, since he became the president again, they've been pitching a fit. They've been rioting again, burning Tesla dealerships, going out and having idiotic protests, confronting the police, burning Teslas, confronting people who even drive Teslas, doing no Kings protests. I was out this weekend. I went downtown. I went down to the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial. There was one of those idiot leftist protests that just wrapped up on the steps of the Lincoln Monument. And I saw some jackass dressed up in a unicorn inflatable outfit with his head sticking out of it. And I should have taken his picture and said, are you a man? Are you a man? Are you an adult male, you idiot? So I started to mouth off. My date didn't appreciate very much because I would see people like, with gauged ears and shirts that say, no Kings or whatever. And I was like, yeah, Trump 2028. Trump 2028. And then these kids were carrying this sign. These guys are probably high school, college. They were carrying these signs. And they turned around and said, hey, man, we're just doing reconnaissance. We're Trump supporters. We just wanted to take the signs and take them with us. And I was like, all right. Oh, as in Matthew, McConaughey, all right. Yeah, we've had this crap going on, and this is just the latest. This is just the latest thing. They shut down the damn government for no good reason. They've never done that when a clean CR was offered. The Democrat Party created a shutdown and rooted for a shutdown. They've never been pro-shutdown before. And now the latest thing, tell them the military to disobey Donald Trump, but use really vague terms. Because this is going to drive a wedge. This is going to create all sorts of issues in the military. This is going to divide the military. We want a war. They don't know who they're bleeping with. FAFO. You're going to find out. You're dealing with the best armed populace, intellectually and physically, in world history, and the military is on the side of Donald Trump. FAFO. And they are faffing, and now they need to be held accountable for it. How's that sound? They're faffing around is what they're doing. They're going to get their asses thrown in jail. Mike in Abington, Maryland is on the phone. He wants to comment on this. Mike, welcome to the show. What's going on?
It's crazy.
Yes.
It's just plain crazy. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, well, as a member of the Democratic Party since 1978, okay, in Maryland, and Maryland is a Democratic state. I've been a Democratic member for over 40 years.
Yes.
I never seen or witnessed something like this in all my life.
I know.
But what I do know is the law. I have family that's in the law. And what they did was not only a treasonous fact, the active members that's currently in there, and studied the actions that they're going to take before they take him. And they went under and through the law to find some type of loophole to gather themselves by six and not by whole to take the risk of making that announcement to ignore the presidential orders.
Well, they weren't specific about it. They didn't say which orders were. Mike, they didn't say which Mike, I need you to listen to me. They didn't say which orders he's given that were illegal, and everybody in the military knows if you are given a directive that is illegal, you have a chain of command to go to address such orders. They just wholesale shotgunned out an announcement to disobey the President of the United States and use your own moral compass as to whether it's illegal or legal.
It gave an opportunity to our Democratic Party, and I'm ashamed to be a Democratic person this day.
Well, brother,
I'm not changing my political position of being a Democratic Party because it is necessary to our Democratic listeners. It is totally necessary to turn this party inside out.
Mike, can I tell you? And let me just say something, Mike. Mike. Again, is this Mike working? Is this a two-way call here? Or is it just Mike? I've said that the Democrat Party needs to reinvent itself or disappear into the dustbin of history, and they're leaning into Democrats. And Mike, you sound like a common sense Democrat. You sound like somebody who I could break bread with, and we wouldn't have any problems, right?
I'll let him know.
All right. Yeah, you gotta listen to what I'm saying here. Sean in Live Oak. Sean, he does sound like a reasonable man, though. Sean in Live Oak. Go ahead, my friend. What's up?
Oh, greens from West Libtardia.
Is it as tardia? Is it as tardia as ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is probably. Well, what I wanted to comment about the Democratic Party is the party is Civil War.
Yes.
And the only thing that's changed since the days of the Civil War now is back then they were anti-black bigots, and now they're anti-white bigots, and lots of Democrats in the Democratic Party are self-loathing anti-white bigots.
Yeah, but they are racist, though. The Democrat Party is as racist as ever. You've got people standing in the schoolhouse doors like the governor of Illinois, Pritzker. He wants to keep people in America's inner cities, people of color, uneducated, needy, and aggrieved. Dependent and aggrieved, all of those things. They're doing the same thing. They haven't changed a whit since the Civil War, by the way.
Yeah, well, the only thing I've said that's changed is they've just changed their bigotry.
What do you think? What do you think should happen to the seditious six?
Well, I think the penalties in law are just clear.
Mm-hmm. All right, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you, and I want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys in West Libtardia. All right. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. I'll lighten things up a little. I got a joke, brand new joke for you. So a radical Islamist, a communist, and an anti-Semite walk into a bar. The bartender says, "What can I get you, Mayor Mondami?" That's not original. It was up there from Heimish Humor on the Twitter, and I retweeted it, but I changed it a little bit. There you go. If you want to check out my Twitter feed, just go to Rob Carson Show. Rob Carson Show on all social media, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or TikTok. I got a TikTok account, for crying out loud. We put all sorts of videos up there every single day, all of them around 90 seconds to 2 minutes max. For all of you who have a short attention span like me, you can check it out and follow me if you would. Follow me if you would. I wouldn't mind it. Just don't follow me home, unless you're not crazy and you're hot. Okay. Here's Joe Concha talking about the Seditious Six.
Well, the president is called the commander-in-chief for a reason. He gives a command, and the military follows that command. No ambiguity, no interpretation, no debate. That's how it's always been and always how it should be. And yet, we have a major political party in a video that we're showing here. It's been viewed tens of millions of times on social media, imploring military members to disobey orders if they deem those orders to be illegal. These same Democrats can't define exactly what an illegal order is.
That's because they want to start a war.
So as an example, Sean, if the pilots that carried out that incredible mission, flying from a base in Missouri, 18 hours.
Actually, they want Donald Trump out of office by hook or by crook. They couldn't put him in jail or take him off the ballot, and they couldn't murder him, although they tried.
Straight hours into hostile territory in Iran to take out nuclear capabilities in Fordo. What would happen if those pilots decided, you know what, this mission may be illegal halfway through the flight. What if they turned those planes around? What if they let the enemy know in advance? But this is what we're seeing from Democrats, saying something completely unhinged, outrageous. Then they wait for the reaction. And then, as you pointed out, they play the victim when the reaction comes and they're called out for what it is. And as usual, our legacy media is now trying to say that Trump is the bad guy here for calling this for what it is. It is 31 flavors of delusion, Sean.
Yeah, 100%. By the way, somebody mentioned Mark Milley should have been charged with espionage because he was dealing with the CCP, talking to them directly outside of the chain of command. This is just the latest thing. This is the latest seditious act by the Democrat Party. They have been trying to divide the country for a decade now, and now they're getting absolutely desperate to the point that they're trying to spark a civil war in the rank and file in the military, divide the military and divide the country. As far as I'm concerned, y'all can go to hell. You, California, New York, go to hell. Form your own damn union, honestly. And in a year, you'll be crawling over the wall to get back here because you'll have no tax base, no money, no industry. Do it. Please, please, please. Go. Create your own damn socialist utopia. Zoran Mondami wants to do that. You got 1 million people saying they're going to move out of New York City. New York, New Jersey, and Illinois and California. People moving out, taking trillions of dollars with them because they know socialism doesn't work, does not work, will not work. Guy, you are playing with fire, and they've got to be held accountable, these people. They have got to be held accountable. John Solomon was talking about it this weekend. Not only what the Seditious Six did, but also the National Guard.
It's all stupid. It's not what the American people told the president they wanted. They did want those guys in camo. And the only reason those guys and gals in camo are there is because...
Yes, I by the way, I thanked dozens of National Guard members when they were walking around the monuments, gave them fist bumps, said, thank you very much for being here. You made D.C. safe. I met guardsmen from Mississippi and, of course, our glorious friends in West Virginia.
The president unlocked our border and allowed murderers and rapists and sex traffickers and drug cartels to pour across the border in the millions.
This is why his order to send National Guard into places where there are countless illegals and where people are attacking ICE agents is completely legal.
And Donald Trump was forced to do it. Donald Trump wouldn't be deploying the National Guard if that situation hadn't been allowed to happen. The American people have figured this out. The greatest...
they're going to have to figure out what the hell Alejandro Mayorkas did, because what he did with 20 million people coming across the southern border, unvetted, unvaccinated, is an act of war. This is Seb Gorka. Seb Gorka, I've been sitting on this for a couple of days. Seb Gorka talking about what they did when they opened the southern border, and the SOBs who did this need to be brought up on charges.
More Americans were killed because of Biden and Kamala Harris's open border policies than 75 years of combat fatalities. And I did the math.
De facto civil war.
And if you don't believe it, I'm not surprised, but do it yourself. Since the end of hostilities in 1945, if you add up every KIA until today, so that's all Americans killed in Korea, Vietnam, Grenada, Panama, Gulf 1, Gulf 2G, or Afghanistan, the total is 103,000 Americans in uniform killed. In the Biden administration, I did this for my NEWSMAX show, I went to the CDC website during the second year of his open border policies. It's hard to find, but it was on the CDC website. In one 12-month period, 110,000 Americans were killed by fentanyl and illicit drug overdoses. That's why we're at war with the cartels, and that's why President Trump designated them.
And the blood is on the hands of Joe Biden, Alejandro Mayorkas, Kamala Harris, and the Democrat Party. For what they did, they have to be held accountable. And this is just the latest, and I'm telling you, you Democrats in good standing, if you love America as founded, you'd better leave that party or fix the damn thing. Because you are a part of a party that is actively promoting war, a war within the United States military, and a war between you and me, and it's already divided families, it's already broken up friendships, and I can go on and on, because I'm living it. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Who's watching? Man, you guys are busy today. Busy. Valentina's on. Hello, Valentina. Good to see you, Valentina. Audrey Granger, you're new. I agree. I'm in California, and I say we be dumbass for sure. Yeah. I saw some good stuff while I was talking here. Yeah, Mark Melly, thanks for that, Tom K1TL. Appreciate you, Deborah. 1955 says that Pentagon threatens to prosecute Senator Mark Kelly by recalling him to the Navy service, according to Reuters. Really? Hold on, Pentagon. According to Reuters. Oh, wow, good. Ooh, that's good news. Thanks for the heads up. Deborah, you kick ass. Who's watching over on the Facebookage? Steve Harrington. Hello, greetings from Conway, South Carolina. Oh man, isn't that where the big old Christmas tree shooting happened this weekend? They didn't shoot a Christmas tree. They shot people at a Christmas tree lighting ceremony. We're going to talk about that later. 72 Marshflower 15, hello. Good to see you. Look at all these people. Deplorable Dinosaur. Suzette 3, are you single? Stop it. Brian, my producer in Baltimore, says I should consider a virtual girlfriend. I'm thinking about it because there's a whole lot of crazy out there. Let's put it. There's a whole lot of crazy out there. It is not fun at all. I just don't even think I'm interested in dating. I just don't even think I'm interested. All right, here we go.
Yeah, about 3.5.
Okay, so here's a headline from the Pentagon. The Pentagon says it's investigating Senator Mark Kelly after video urging troops to defy illegal orders. CNN says that Pentagon threatens to recall Mark Kelly to military service for court-martial in wake of the illegal orders video. Ooh, I love it. Do it! They wanted to throw Donald Trump in jail, for God's sake. They had no compunction about sending Donald Trump to jail for the rest of his life under false charges, under absolutely false charges. So I say, go for it. Go for it. Put him in jail. Put him up on charges. Come on.
Slotkin and Mark Kelly said the military. Trump's orders they should choose to ignore.
Kim Gossett.
Those two are quite awful. Their actions were unlawful, and that goes for the other 4.
From History of the World, Mel Brooks.
It's an outrage. It was a crime. All 6 of them should be doing time.
Genius.
Trump called all them traitors, as well as U.S. haters. They want to mess with his authority.
Thank you, Rabbi.
The law they're clearly breaking. The prison should be taken. On that, I think we all can agree.
I agree.
Call them out. By their name.
On trial.
Make them hang their sorry heads in shame.
Here it comes.
This is sedition against the USA. It is sedition. These 6 ought to pay. We all are wishing for a prison stay.
We can all dream, can't we?
Democrats, it's too late. The 6 of you have sealed your fate.
Bye.
There's no chance you're gonna escape. No way.
Come on.
The sedition charge is here, and it's here to stay.
Jim Gossett. Patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Price of gold's up to $4,114 today. I was looking the average net worth of people, different times of their lives. 45 to 54 years old, average net worth $975,000. 55 to 64, $1,566,000. 65-74, $1,800,000. Are you worth that? If you're not, you might consider reinvesting or coming up with a different strategy. You might consider gold, Birch Gold, giving away free gold with every qualifying purchase right now through Black Friday when you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. Birch Gold will send you free gold for every $20,000 invested in Birch Gold. Gold thrives in times of uncertainty. Central banks are making it more precious because they're buying the crap out of it. You got people who are panning for gold right now, seriously. Giving up their jobs and going out and panning for gold. It's another gold rush. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 to claim your eligibility for a free gold info kit and eligibility for free gold. Rob to 989898. Your opportunity for free gold ends with a purchase on November the 30th. Don't wait. Text Rob to 989898 for full details. Brigadier General Blaine Holt joins us next hour to talk about the Seditious 6 and the possibility of a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine coming down. Maybe this week, we'll see. Don't go anywhere.
Breaking news.
NEWSMAX.com.
Hold it now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 2 on this Thanksgiving Monday. I am going to Pittsburgh for Thanksgiving, hanging out with some friends. I got a big family up there. The Baranti family is where I'm going to be chilling. So if you're a Baranti family member listening to our affiliate in lovely Pittsburgh, prepare yourself. I'll be bringing some of my Christmas candied jalapenos that I made yesterday. I spent the day. I know, this is me. This is my life. I spent yesterday at home pickling jalapenos and making my famous, and they're pretty damn good actually, candied jalapenos with craisins. They're red and green like Christmas, and then there's a cinnamon stick in the bottom of them, and they are sick and wrong, man. They are sick and wrong. Federal judge dismisses indictments against Letitia James and James Comey, saying Lindsay Halligan appointment was unlawful. So no big surprise here. Federal judge dismissed the indictments because of Lindsay Halligan not legally or whatever appointed, and either way it was apparently dismissed. It can be appealed, and it will be appealed. This judgment will be appealed because this is how they do. You see, when it's cases against Donald Trump, they find jurisdictions and judges who they know will go after Donald Trump, pursue Donald Trump no matter what, and also find juries that are completely corrupt against Donald Trump. That's what they did in New York, certainly, and in Washington, D.C., and in Georgia. Here is Mike Davis talking about this, should it happen, and it did.
The evidence is overwhelming, but we do have Democrat judges in this courthouse in the suburbs of Washington, D.C., who seem to be going out of their way to protect James Comey and to try to kick this case. Lindsay Halligan is doing everything appropriately. We've looked at the evidence, we've looked at the transcripts, and if this judge kicks this case on for whatever.
And she did, because she is a political tool and should be removed from her bench and be disbarred.
Grounds he comes up with to kick this case, that will be appealed, but James Comey will face accountability, whether it's in the Eastern District of Virginia or the Southern District of Florida. No, they are saying that Lindsay Halligan was unlawfully appointed. The Attorney General Pam Bondi made Lindsay Halligan a special attorney to the Attorney General, which fixes any potential problem with that.
There you go. So that's good news, because, Mike Davis, he knows his stuff. He's from the Article 3 Project. He's an amazing guy. Here he is talking about all the bull crap that the Democrat Party has done with Donald Trump.
So anyone who politicizes and weaponizes intel agencies and law enforcement to go after their political enemies for non-crimes has committed a very serious crime. Yeah. Conspiracy against rights under 18.
Grand conspiracy coming, kids.
USC Section 241, and this goes all the way to the top of the Obama administration.
Yeah.
President Obama, Vice President Biden, Hillary Clinton, James Comey, Clapper, Brennan.
Wouldn't you just love to see them in a lineup?
Jack Smith, Jay Bratt, Andrew Weissman. There are so many dirty actors in this ongoing criminal conspiracy against rights. These people must be held accountable. I know that the new Miami U.S. Attorney has opened up a grand jury in Fort Pierce, Florida, that's going to be impaneled in January, and I would tell these lawfare Democrats they better lawyer up.
Oh, brother. Yeah, and you know what? This is one of the many reasons why we, of course, knew Donald Trump was going to run again, and we knew we were going to elect him after they stole and rigged the 2020 election.
Yeah, and they've been doing this for more than 8 years. They've been doing this Russian collusion hoax since the 2016
I'm not sick and damn tired of it.
Campaign. Where
No, I am.
They made up the Russian collusion hoax to cover up Hillary Clinton's corruption when she was the Secretary of State, and the Clinton Foundation was taking millions of dollars from shady foreign actors. What was Hillary Clinton?
From Russian oligarchs, and the charity didn't do a damn thing.
Doing it.
I mean, for anybody other than enrich the Clintons.
In exchange for that money to the Clinton Foundation that was underfunding the Clintons' lavish lifestyle. And they made up the Russian collusion hoax. They weaponized it against President Trump. They tried to destroy his campaign in 2016. They tried to destroy his presidency. And when he declassified Crossfire Hurricane and tried to release it publicly, they did the Mar-a-Lago raid, and then they tried to take him out with lawfare.
Yeah,
justice has to be served here.
Yeah, 100% it has to be served, and that's what we voted for. And things are happening in the economy that are incredibly positive. The cost of a Thanksgiving meal this year is going to be 25% less than it was when Joe Biden was the president. Do you realize that the inflation averaged 5% a year under Joe Biden? Yeah. But houses doubled in price. Interest rates tripled. Grocery prices, more than 20%. Try 30, 40, 50% on your grocery bill. 100%. And I followed it in real time. I followed it all in real time as it was happening. As that filthy, rotten SOB was the president. What a worthless human being. What a terrible, terrible president. How much suffering that he created. Just utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Zoran Mandami, of course, had a big meeting with Donald Trump on Friday, and they came out and they were kind of slapping, high-fiving and everything. And then Mandami went on, I guess it was Meet the Press this weekend, and stabbed Donald Trump right in the back. Because you know why? Because he's that yippy little chihuahua with a fence between him and a pit bull. The pit bull, of course, being Donald Trump. And he's all yippy and barking and acting tough and everything until he meets the pit bull, until the gates open. And then he was all sorts of nice. And now the little yippy, probably neutered, for sure neutered, oh yeah, my God, for sure neutered chihuahua goes on to Meet the Press.
In that press conference with President Trump,
although there's not much difference between him actually having testicles and being neutered, they're that small.
A reporter asked you whether you believe that President Trump is in fact a fascist, a word that you've used in the past. You were about to answer, then President Trump sort of jumped in and he said, quote, "That's okay, you can just say yes. It's easier than explaining it." So, Mr. Mayor-elect, just to be very clear, do you think that President Trump is a fascist?
Rough. And after President Trump said that, I said yes. And
so you do?
Yeah, I did. I said it right in front of his face. No, you didn't.
And that's something that I've said in the past. I say it today. And I think what I appreciated about the conversation that I had with the president was that we were not shy about the places of disagreement, about the politics that has brought us to this moment. And we also wanted to focus on what it could look like.
Yeah, you guys have really bleeped up New York City is what the deal is.
Deliver on a shared analysis of an affordability crisis for New York.
Here's I just did a video on the social media. And if you go to all of my social media, Rob Carson Show, check it out. I did a little video. You know what? I'll just play a little piece of it so you'll go check out my social media, because it said Rob Carson Show. Here it is right here. I'll just play a little bit of it right here. There's my video that I just did.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson of the Rob Carson Show.
God, he's got a great voice.
Show with the solution for the New York City affordability crisis, and I can solve it without raising taxes or promising free bus rides or anything.
This guy's a genius.
Here's my solution.
What?
Move to a city you can afford to live in. Yeah, that would make the most sense, you see, because politics in New York City and taxes have made it exorbitantly expensive to live there. So Democrat policies have caused it to be this expensive. And if you can't...
They kind of cross the line between me talking to myself, and I do that enough anyway. But yeah, if if you can't afford to live in New York City, then you can't afford to live in New York City. That's the way it works. Because taxes and regulation have made it impossible to live in New York City. So you should move. Yeah, that's just the way it happens. Probably a lot of people like to live in Dubai. Would I like to live in Dubai? I don't know. If I was retired and there were a bunch of hotties over there in Dubai, I might consider living in Dubai if I had a couple $1 million. Hell yeah, why not? I wouldn't become a permanent resident, but I'd definitely have a place there. But, see, I can't because, I can't. It's unaffordable. And it should not be up to the New York taxpayers to make it affordable for you to live there when you can't afford to live there because of Democrat policies. There you go. Here's Mom Dummy. This is Mom Comey. Begging for money. Yeah, he's a socialist, but he's got to beg successful people with jobs for money.
Remember how I told you a few months ago to stop sending us money? You can start again. This transition requires staff, research, and an infrastructure
Why
that
don't you just identify as transitioned?
can meet this moment. Still asking for your
You
help.
don't even need to go through transition.
Because we need to raise $4 million in total. So January 1st can be the day we start to deliver, not start to prepare.
Deliver.
I hope very soon not to have to ask you for money.
Yeah.
But until then, I'm asking.
Yeah, because I mean, he hopes very soon not to ask for it because he's just going to take it.
Leaves, they are changing. The air, it is crisp. But one thing that stays the same is we still need you to donate.
Yeah, he was still need to beg, a little loser. Little loser boy. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Where do I want to go here? Yeah, here's Zoran Moncami. Another time when Donald Trump wasn't around, acting like a brave little chihuahua on the other side of the fence.
If you want to pursue your promise to create the single largest deportation force in American history, or your promise to persecute and punish your political enemies, then you will have to get through me to do that here in New York City.
Which would be about as hard as going through a grease-soaked paper bag full of French fries. Yeah, that would be about as hard it would be to get through you, you little commie. I'm still thinking about the testicles comment. It's a far cry between neutered and actually having your manhood when you're a Democrat. Let's take a break. It's not much of a leak, not much of a leap. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Newsmax. You like Newsmax. I like it too. Newsmax has been terrific.
President Trump is right. Millions like you are tuning into Newsmax. You're watching Newsmax on cable. You're going to our streaming channel, Newsmax 2. And you're downloading our free Newsmax app on your smartphones and TVs. Reuters Institute says we're now one of the top news brands in the nation. Every night, watch great shows with Rob Schmidt, Carl Higbie, Rob Bennett, and more as they expose the big media lies, the Washington swamp. And they're never afraid to talk about faith, freedom, and the values that made us great. Find out why Newsmax is the fastest growing news channel in America. Make the switch today and join our news revolution. Get Newsmax on cable, on streaming, and download the free app today. It takes just seconds to start. Let President Trump know you stand with Newsmax. News for real people. Make the switch today.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs? It's okay with me. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang.
Big Head Todd and the Monsters.
Boom, 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 boom.
Bang, 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 bang. Come on. Turn it up, Brian. They do such a good version of this song. Come on. Donald Trump being asked about sending the National Guard to New York City.
Do you still plan to deploy the National Guard to New York City?
If they need it. Right now, other places need it more, but if they need it, we had a very good meeting yesterday. We talked about that. But if they need it, I would do it.
There you go. So New York City is unaffordable for a lot of people, and if you can't afford to live there, you probably ought to consider moving somewhere else than expecting taxpayers to bail your rear end out. Yeah, that's what I had to do. I had to find a place I could afford pretty much my entire life. Yeah, pretty much my entire life. And when I couldn't afford it, I had to move. That's the amazing thing about it. But Zoran Mandami, his solution is tax successful people so losers can stay in New York. You're saying the poor people are losers. Yeah, I've been poor a good share of my life, so how about shut up? How much $2,000 a month in rent gets you in the 25 biggest U.S. cities? In New York City, for $2,000, you get a 260 square foot apartment. So if you got kids, you can't afford to live there. Or if you don't make a lot of money, you can't afford to live there. Because, see, that's $24,000 a year just for rent. Boston, 336 square feet. San Francisco, 340 square feet. San Diego, 458. San Jose, 427. Now, where you can get the most space for $2,000? San Antonio, 1,500. Columbus, Ohio, 1,600. Indianapolis, 1,600. El Paso, 1,700. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 1,900 square feet. That was the size of my house in Kansas City, and my rent was less than that, or my house payment was less than $2,000 because I could afford to live there. If you can't afford to live in New York, don't frickin' live in New York. Sooner or later, this will sink in. Sooner or later. Islamic extremists once welcomed by Barack Obama to be formally named as terror group under Trump's crackdown. This is the Muslim Brotherhood. Here is John Solomon. He had President Trump on the show this weekend.
This is a long-promised effort. He wanted to do this alongside of Congress in his first term. He didn't have a willing partner in Congress. And it's kind of ironic because even in Egypt, where the Muslim Brotherhood was born decades ago, it is banned in Egypt. Yeah. But the United States has yet to declare it a foreign terrorist. Yeah. Greg Abbott, the Texas governor, used his state powers to declare the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization last week, shortly after we did a long series of stories on them and their fomenting of violence and radicalization.
You combine this with declaring Antifa a terrorist organization and going after all of these NGOs for funding this. This is going to put a major crimp in the left's army that has caused so much damage to our country over the years, including the summer of 2020, and the burning of Tesla dealerships and all of the sundry damage and violence against ICE agents as well. Hell is coming for all the people who did that. All the people who did that. Eric Swalwell, he's considering running for governor of the state of California, and he says that they should do phone-in voting. Yeah, I'm sure there's no possibility of fraud in that, even though every type of voter fraud has been attempted or is being used in California, including giving illegals the ability to vote.
I want us to be able to vote by phone. I think every Californian
vote by phone.
Vote by phone. Yeah, if we can do our taxes, do our, make our...
if somebody thinks that voting is not important enough to get off your ass and go stand in line and vote and be proud of what you do, then honestly, screw you. Honestly, forget about it. You can order your damn Uber Eats or do whatever and sit on your butt, but you need to get your butt out and vote.
Healthcare appointments, make essentially do your banking online. You should be able to vote.
Yeah, none of those things are as important as voting.
By phone.
Because you see, so many people have died so you can vote.
Make it safe, make it secure, but it's actually already happening all over the United States. I want us to be a blue state that doesn't do just a little bit better than like Georgia or Alabama when it comes to like voting access. I want us to max out democracy.
I want to max out democracy. Totally, dude. Totally, dude. He's such a moron. My God. Elon Musk, I found this video this weekend of why California has more homeless people than ever, even though Gavin Newsom has spent $30 billion on it.
Homeless implies that somebody got a little behind on their mortgage payments, and if they just got a job offer, they'd be back on their feet.
Yeah.
But someone who's totally dead inside, shuffling along down the street with a needle dangling out of their leg, taking a dump in the middle of the street, they're not like one job offer away from getting back on their feet.
No.
These sort of charities, they get this money. The money is proportionate to the number of homeless people. Their incentive structure is to maximize the number of drug zombies, not minimize it. That's why they don't arrest the drug dealers.
This is going to get real dark. I'm just going to tell you right now. What they're doing, and Democrats know they're doing this. They know they're doing this. The NGOs know they're doing this. Catholic charities knew when they were bringing kids across the southern border what was going to happen to those kids.
Because if they arrest the drug dealers, the drug zombies leave, and they would stop getting money from the state of California and from all the charities. This is a diabolical scam. You're taxing on any money going through the system in San Francisco. And that money goes to the homeless industrial complex. When you add up all the money that's flowing, they're getting close to $1 million per drug zombie.
What?
It's like $900,000, something like some crazy amount of money is going to these organizations.
That's why they have Narcan machines on street corners so you can keep them alive.
So they want to keep people just barely alive. They need to keep them in the area so they get the revenue. They don't arrest the drug dealers because otherwise the drug zombies would leave. If they get too much drugs, then they die. So they're kept in this perpetual zone of being addicted but just barely alive.
Yeah, just keep him barely alive, like they did Joe Biden in office for 4 years. Just keep his heart thumping. Just make him slightly mobile. Get him out there in front of a microphone, then tell the press to leave. There's a lot of that going on there, too. Not saying he's on any kind of drugs, but, certainly on dementia, I guess. But that's what they do. This is your Democrat Party. They allowed NGOs to bring over millions and millions of people across the southern border, including 425,000 kids without their parents, and they got sold into sex slavery. And the Democrat Party could give a rat's behind at all because you know what? The NGOs got all that money, and they're doing the same thing with the homeless industrial complex in places like California. Now we know why they never solved the problem, don't we? Brigadier General Blaine Holt joins us next. Don't go anywhere.
Street protesters, we've had our fill, but Randy Fine has a bill, says move them on over, run them all over, run over protesters blocking all our roads. The Thump Thump bill is what it's called. I'm sure the left will be appalled, but move them on over. Run them all over. Step on the gas if they won't step aside. Sure, it might leave a dent, but make them a hood ornament. Run them all over, thump them all over. If they block our streets, they'll get what they deserve.
With talent on loan from God, and have my brain tied behind my back, to be fair.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we'll miss you oh so much.
You know, I'm the mayor of Realville here.
You cut down liberals like a knife, Rush.
El Rushball.
Forever you'll be number one.
I am Rush Limbaugh, household name.
America needed a hero
in all four corners of the world.
And then you came to our rescue.
The Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies.
Competition, you had zero. How could so much talent be inside of you?
And don't doubt it.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we listened every day.
That's it. It's not much more complicated than that.
You helped us get through all the strife, Rush. No one will ever take your place, because Rush was the sunshine of our life, of our life, of our life.
Meeting and surpassing all audience expectations every day behind this, the Golden EIB microphone.
So let's talk right now. Do you believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal, but certainly there are some legal gymnastics that are going on with these Caribbean strikes and everything related to Venezuela.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's what we do. I know we just kind of just said that you ought to disobey orders and everything. Now we're trying to cover our butts because they could be in some serious hot water. The Seditious Six, as I like to call them. Joining us on the Newsmax hotline is Brigadier General Blaine Holt, retired, also the host of Dangerous Intellectuals podcast at Twitter at Danger Thinking. It's actually really entertaining show. It actually, I listened to it as I went to sleep the other night. It didn't put me to sleep, but I was listening to it the other night. It's a good show. It's a compelling show. General joins us on the phone. How are you doing today, sir?
I am doing good. In this era of treason, hijinks, sedition, I'm doing wonderful.
Well, I
How are you?
said this on Friday. I said, this has never happened, General.
Right.
Glenn Beck mentioned there were similar things during the lead up to the Civil War, and to me, and I said this was just shy of Fort Sumter.
It is, and I think what's amazing is the soundbite you just played by Slotkin, where all of a sudden she's a legal expert, and she is very concerned about legal hijinks in the matter of protecting the country down in the Caribbean, after coming from the three-letter agency where laws and rules really don't matter. You want to upend a country and overthrow it? Well, that's just fine, because we've got off-book budgets, we've got NGOs, we've got money laundering, we can do ultimate surveillance on anybody. So now that she's taken a renewed interest in the law, I find quite refreshing.
This is the latest attempt, and I've been saying on the air that the Democrat Party has been fighting a de facto civil war in our country for the last decade. It has a body count, it has casualties, it has billions of dollars in damage.
Yes, it does.
And they're doing it with soldiers for hire in Antifa. All of these agencies, these radicals funded by people like George Soros. Those are soldiers for hire, my friend. This is
and
just the latest.
They do it this way.
Go ahead.
They go find a civilian organization who can't do the dirty tricks that they want to do. So, we didn't break the Constitution and your civil rights and field for hire armies in your streets. It was those other guys who got our money. And it's been going on since, for a very long time. I was just listening to Mike Benz this morning talk about the Soros operations of the 70s and Kellogg, Brown, and Root leading up to, Cheney's hijinks. It's pervasive.
Well, I was reading a couple of headlines today about recalling Mark Kelly to his branch of service so he can be court-martialed. What are you hearing about that, my friend?
I'm hearing the same. There's some legal wickets they're going to have to get through because he wasn't a flag officer. But if they're going to set that as the standard, then why are you letting that Army congressman go? Why not all of them? They're all in that same position. So don't stop there. Wrap them all up. And where's Ratcliffe on Slotkin? In other words, we and here's the thing. Pam's got to stop phoning it in from Tampa Bay.
Yes.
The AG needs to take an interest and start the season of accountability. And if she's not going to do this, then we're all really pretty much just delaying the inevitable, which is the loss of the Republic at the end of this administration.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I've been talking, and there's the buzz is kind of a low rumble about getting rid of her early in the new year.
Louder rumble. And don't miss Todd Blanche while you're at it.
Yeah, who would you like to see in that position? I thought Matt. Who did I think was going to be? I thought Matt Gaetz would have been a great AG, by the way.
Matt Gaetz would be a great AG. I would look at Alina Habba, Matt Whitaker. You need to find a straight shooter who loves the law. Janine Pirro would be an outstanding DOJ.
Mike Davis. Mike Davis. What about Mike Davis? Come on.
Mike Davis would be great. Mike Davis would be outstanding, no question about it.
Well, they need someone who has balls regardless of whether they have them physically or not. That's the most important thing. They really do. And Pirro would be phenomenal, by the way. Pirro is just amazing.
She's a land shark. She's a piranha. And that's exactly what you need. Or look at what Habba's done in New Jersey. They're terrified of her.
Yeah.
And here we have unforced heirs out of our DOJ. Apparently the Halligan thing wasn't resolved the proper way, and so now we may see Letitia James and Comey just walk. So in other words, what the administration is doing through this is projecting weakness. And let's just be very clear and honest. These things need to be laid at the footstep, not of just Pam Bondi, but of Susie Wiles. Miss Pfizer is supposed to be corralling the kittens and having them go in line, and she's doing anything but.
Yeah.
And so the president is left vulnerable, and the president's agenda, which we all supported and voted for, most of us, that's left vulnerable too. And so that may not sound like a very nice MAGA thing to say. No. I could care less.
Yeah, me too.
I care about the country. I care about our Constitution.
100%, and I voted for this. I want somebody to kick some ass. I want people to go to jail for what they did.
Right. That's exactly right. And now so here's the thing. You've got the seditious six. Before that, you had the Attorney General candidate, now the Attorney General of Virginia, calling for the death of Trump supporters.
Yep.
So the violence and the rhetoric just continues on this escalatory path. Meanwhile, you've got the urchins, the terrorist cells, the Antifas, and all of that stuff unchecked, while Tom Homan's trying to do God's work. This doesn't get better.
No.
If DOJ does not do something, and if Kash Patel doesn't get off this high horse of my girlfriend can too fly on FBI jets, if we can't get serious, well, then we're in real trouble. And this is my words to the administration: is clean it up. Clean it up. You got a year behind you now, and we don't even have one executive order that's codified yet. We've got Speaker Johnson on Twitter taking credit for Trump things, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah. What do you think about the FBI saying that Thomas Crooks acted alone? I think it's bullcrap.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And here's the thing: it's just like Charlie Kirk's murder. You're lying to us. It doesn't take. You could be trained at the first grade 101 level of military strategy or forensics to know that you're lying to us. So if you're going to blatantly lie to us so badly, why? Why? Why would you attempt this when there's people that are so well trained in this who know you're lying? They just absolutely know you're lying. So go ahead and make your case. Lay out your evidence. Throw it all out there. But it's just the same crap we get when they say, the Epstein files were released. No, they're colored in pieces of black lines. And then Pam Bondi immediately goes, oh, yeah, no, we're going to now reopen this investigation. Why? Because she can say, I can't comment on an existing investigation or give you any information because it's under investigation. Wow. So I'm never going to release anything. So goodbye.
Let's get back to the seditious six.
Yeah.
I know why they said what they said. Why do you think they said what they said?
They're laying groundwork. What they're trying to do is they believe they're very cocky and arrogant, and so go forward to the midterms that they're either going to do with crooked elections or whatever the heck they're going to do. Who knows? But then once the Dems get back in charge of the House and the Senate, they're going to go for the impeachment game again, and they're going to go back to this, where these 6 brave, brilliant former vets and spooks stood up for America and said he was issuing illegal orders. But you can't even get Slotkin to tell you on national TV what one of those might be.
Yeah, I think it's darker than that, to be quite honest. I think that they are just shy of. They're calling for a civil war. They're calling for a civil war, but they don't know what the hell they're doing because they don't know what they're messing with. They're about to F around and find out is what is happening because the military is not on their side. They're pushing, and they're going to bite off more than they can chew, and they're going to get their asses kicked. Let's continue this conversation on the other side of the break. Brigadier General Blaine Holt on the phone joins us next. We're talking about possibility of peace between Ukraine and Russia. After this break, this is the Rob Carson Show.
in Harford County.
Three, two, one.
To the town of Portland I sent in the guard. Antifa, they are gonna get you hard. The Democrat mayor's getting in my way. Go ahead, punks, and make my day.
Come on.
F around and find out.
Come on.
F around and find out. Schumer's gonna find out.
Yep.
I mean business and I'll get my way.
Seditious 6.
Pencil neck and Chris Ray. For your crimes you will pay. You have both been found out. Hope you get a lengthy prison stay.
Come on.
Listen up, Hamas, I am warning you. Break the ceasefire and you'll be through.
Come on.
Democrats, hang your head in shame. For the shutdown, you gonna get the blame. F around and find out. Mess around and find out. F around and find out. In the end, I'm gonna win the day.
Come on, let's get going. That's the Jim Goss.
Find out.
Yeah, there you go. Blaine Holt, General Blaine Holt, joins us on the NewsMax hotline. Here is what Marco Rubio is saying this morning about possibility between peace in Ukraine.
We had a very good day
Russia
today.
and Ukraine.
I think we made a tremendous amount of progress, even from the last time I spoke to you, and I apologize for keeping you waiting, but there was more work to be done. You know, we began almost 3 weeks ago with a foundational document that we socialized and ran by both sides, and with input from both sides. And one of the things that happens when you've been involved in this now for 10 months is you get a pretty good sense of what the priorities and the red lines and the important issues are for both sides.
Yeah, it's a process, not an event, and wouldn't it be amazing if war was over by Christmas? Blaine Holt, what do you think?
Oh, I think we've got a very good chance, the best chance we've had since the war started and Boris Johnson blew up the peace talks, which we're sure to go through. So where we're at now is you've got European leaders who are still fighting the president, neocons here who are still saying damning things, and yet Rubio has everybody's attention. He's making progress. There are leaders now like Kira Rudik in the parliament of Ukraine who are standing up and saying, we've got to grab on here because it can get far worse for us as the Russian military is bearing down on the Dnieper River as we speak. And so pragmatism is coming through. They understand the death count, and I think despite the pushback from the Euros and the neocons here, I think we're going to get there. I really believe we're going to get there this time.
I hope so, brother. You know, I was reminded of when I went to the World War I Museum a while back, and there was a story about it. This is World War I, where both sides stopped and sang Silent Night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beautiful.
That story, brother, that story shreds me, and I think about how horrible it must have been for so many soldiers who had been in foxholes or been in trenches or been out on the battlefield around Christmas. Wouldn't it be amazing if there were peace?
It would be everything we've been praying for, brother. And these things have legs when that momentum goes. That this time, not the manipulation that got us into World War I or the manipulation that took us into World War II, that this time you bankers and globalists, your money problems are your money problems. Yeah. That we the people, which is a globalist term, we choose a different outcome. And I know President Trump is working everything he can to get to that place.
And you had mentioned, the reason why so many are hating that Donald Trump is blowing up narco boats off of Venezuela. Is because those bankers and globalists have been getting rich off the drug trade. I mean, rich. Even the politicians in this state, in this country. Are you kidding me?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. If you find someone who thinks it's a problem for President Trump to defend this country from 70,000 fentanyl deaths every year, then what we would love to know is your motivations for doing so.
Yes.
That, President Trump's prime directive is to protect the United States of America and its people by constitutional writ. Yep. And so if you have a problem with that, then go ahead and lay out your cards as to why you think that's so. And what we want to do is find out where your money comes from and what your motivations are.
Finally, we got about a minute here. I want to talk about the amassing of a massive amount of firepower off the coast of Venezuela. I don't believe boots on the ground would even be necessary. We could wipe out their army in seconds. We could wipe out Maduro if we really wanted to with a drone strike. What's coming? I hear he's looking at shacks on Zillow, Cuba. What's going on with Maduro?
Yeah, he wants a deal. I think he's looking in the background at Zillow all over the place.
Yeah.
I think he ends up in Turkey, quite honestly.
Okay.
But I don't see shock and awe as much as I see I'm going to drain your bank accounts. That's really what this operation is.
They do not need to do a thing. It would be such an easy win to take them out. You would not need boots on the ground in Venezuela. The people are not for the government, and the army would collapse. What?
Right.
They would collapse in seconds.
They're pro-Americans, and that army will flip in 5 hot seconds. They just want to know which way the wind's blowing.
Well, I'm praying for peace for the entire world by Christmas time. We've made some great strides in that direction. Donald Trump has made great strides in that direction. And wouldn't it be, sleep in heavenly peace, right, brother?
Amen. Amen. Let's all be thankful this week that we're on that path.
Yes, sir. Blaine Holt, where can people find all of your stuff?
Come to Dangerous Intellectuals. I've got Jeffrey Gilson on today, who is the speechwriter for Margaret Thatcher, and you're going to love this conversation. DangerousIntellectuals.com, and then I always write once a week at NEWSMAX.
All right, brother. Well, have a happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate you. And I would assume you're already looking online for presents for your King Charles Spaniel's dogs this year.
Oh, they're right in front of me, so we can't talk about that. All the presents are in the closet upstairs.
All right, let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. He is such a softie for his dogs, guys. He's such a badass, but he's such a softie for his dogs. Oh, I can't talk in front of him. That is funny. Would not surprise me if Maduro is seeking subs from Cuba to ship their drugs to the U.S. Ain't gonna work. Ukraine roar, she-brat, 7,000 a day. It's been so pointless and awful. So pointless and awful. Silent night, holy night. All is calm, all is bright. Hopefully, the killing has to end. It's so sickening. So unnecessary and so sickening, and Joe Biden invited it. Joe invited it. Mickey Hastings says, Rob wrote for Rush Limbaugh for decades. Yes, I did, deplorable dinosaur. And in case you didn't notice, there's a lot of comedy on my show. And guess what? That was my comedy on Rush, too. So I'm walking in his footsteps, and I would venture to say I'm the closest thing to Rush Limbaugh you're going to find this side of heaven. So there you go. Yeah, I'm like Rush Limbaugh had a love child with Greg Gutfeld. Is this for me? Love will find you? No, you know what? If love's going to find me, if love is hunting me right now, I'm going to hide. I'm going to throw my phone away. I don't want to be traced if love is looking for me. Especially if it's a woman. It's not terribly interested right now. I'm too much. But I'm going to be able to see my kids and my dogs at Christmas. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. All right, here we go. I got to talk again.
And I'm at 3:45 here.
Coming up next hour, the Somali community in Minnesota is rife with corruption. They are sending more American money from charitable scams to Somalia than their GDP. That's how much Somalia sucks, and how much a good share of the Somali community in Minneapolis sucks. You can't say that it's racist. No, it's not. No, it's not. Live in Minneapolis. I watched this grow for years. It is massive, to the tune of billions of dollars taken from feeding hungry children and then lying about having autism. You wouldn't believe the amount of money that is going to Minneapolis to absolute fraud, Somali fraud, and it's ending up in terrorist hands. We'll get to all of that. Man, look at this important email I got at home. Your cloud data is at immediate risk of deletion. Your photos and videos, your contacts, your calendars, your reminders. You had better take action by Friday, or it's all going to be erased. So please update your payment information immediately. The only problem is this company doesn't exist. It just says cloud. It's bullcrap. It's phishing. Yeah, it's a scam. They're trying to take my credit card information and screw me over. They're doing it to you, too. You might want to pay attention because cybercrime spikes during the holiday, especially around Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Falling victim to cybercrime, the last thing anyone needs. Right now, Black Friday through Cyber Monday, people are going to be trying to take your money, which means it's cyber criminal, hacker, identity theft, etc.'s Super Bowl. Get protected now with 75% off WebRoot Total Protection with my exclusive discount. WebRoot Total Protection is less than $50 a year. That's all in one device: identity, privacy, backup protection, $50. It's nuts, it's nuts, it's nuts. But you got to go to webroot.com/Carson, webroot.com/Carson. Get it done, guys. Because they're fishing for you, they're looking for you, they'll scam you, you'll fall for it sooner or later when you're barraged by enough. One of them's going to stick. And if that's the case, you could lose your identity and not be able to buy a car. Had that happen to me years ago. Family protection includes toddlers, students, seniors, up to $1 million in expense reimbursement for stolen funds and out-of-pocket costs due to identity theft. WebRoot Total Protection, webroot.com/Carson, webroot.com/Carson. Do it today. 75% off. Get rid of this crap in your email that's robbing you blind. So old Tim Walz is a terrible governor of the state of Minnesota, and has allowed all of this massive fraud from Somali refugees to take billions of dollars from charity fraudulently, send it back to the hellhole that is Somalia, the crap hole that is Somalia, and to the tune of it being higher than the GDP of Somalia, which is about nothing. So we're going to get to that next hour. Also, we've got Rick Grinnell talking about the Kennedy Center, what a hellhole the Democrats made it into. He's turning that around because he used to have all those this nonsensical woke bullcrap that nobody wanted to see, and they were going bankrupt, and they had all sorts of slush funds going on over there. And, so that's the last hour of the show. I mean, the show's been pretty damn amazing thus far, right? It can only get better. And if I were you, I wouldn't go anywhere. Hour number 3 on the way.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular NewsMax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of NewsMax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the NewsMax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show. Welcome to it. Come on in and hang out with me for a while here. I'm going to be here for another hour or so. By the way, tomorrow night, I'm going to be on the Right Squad, the Chris Plant Show, the Right Squad, tomorrow night on NEWSMAX. And then on Wednesday, too, I'm going to be on that show. I'm going to be on the panel. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I don't think they're ready for me. I don't think they could ever be ready for me. So we're going to have some fun. I'm going to be on set, in studio, tomorrow night and Wednesday night, the Right Squad, NEWSMAX. You want to watch it because it's going to be, it's going to get spicy. It's going to get spicy. Yeah. Did a lot this weekend. I went out for the first time in a very long time, went to see the monuments in Washington, D.C. And, I always hear from people, when I lived here, when was the last time you went to the mall? When I was in 6th grade. Well, you live 25 miles away. Yeah, I know. I want to go down there. I don't know, because it's kind of cool, kind of amazing. I had never touched the Washington Monument. I'd been by the Washington Monument. I stood from afar, but I walked up and I stood at the base of the Washington Monument and touched it. And it was amazing. You can use the word childlike sense of wonder. I just call it sense of wonder. And the day that you lose your sense of wonder, honestly, just go live in a friggin' hole in the wall. I walked down the reflecting pool to what was left of a bunch of idiots protesting Donald Trump, no kings, whatever, some jackass wearing an inflatable unicorn costume with his head sticking out of it. I was like, I wanted to go up and say, are you an adult male? Really? I mean, honestly, are you an adult male? Why would you do such things? You're an idiot. And I walked up and I saw the statue of Abe Lincoln and thought of the history there, of the Martin Luther King speech, of Forrest Gump jumping in the reflecting pool with Jenny. Of course, that didn't happen, but it was cool. And I saw the World War II memorial. I wish my father would have been alive to see it. He was a World War II veteran. He was old enough to be my grandfather. He was my stepfather. And he would have been amazed by it. It's a memorial that the first memorial that puts into perspective the size of the World Wars, World War II. And there's a wall of stars, and for each one of the stars, they are 100 men's lives. And the wall goes on for 40 yards. 600,000, I believe, is how many were lost. And I put a video up there on my social media at Rob Carson Show. If you want to see it on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all those. But it really hit me. It hit me. And I was in wonder. If you stop looking at things and going, wow, you are not living much of a life. I notice everything. If there's a penny on the sidewalk, I'll stop and pick it up. I never stop going, wow, 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 wow. Wow, everywhere, wow, 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 wow. The first, NFL's first transgender cheerleader, meaning dude in a skirt, Justine Lindsay, claims he was fired by the Carolina Panthers because he was a trans person. I was cut because I'm trans. I don't want to hear nobody saying she didn't want to come back. Why the hell would I not want to come back to an organization that I've been a part of for 3 years? Well, you're a guy, so you're not a she. Lindsay said that they, them, stung and hurt by the firing. Lindsay joined the Top Cats cheer squad in 2022. Lindsay, you're an adult man, and you're a part of a cheerleader squad. You're an adult male. My God. I got no problem against being gay or whatever, but honestly, you got fired. Get over yourself. And by the way, cheerleaders who do dance routines like that and have pom-poms, they're supposed to be girls. Nobody wants to see a dude dancing around with pom-poms. I mean, maybe some do. They pay for sites like that. I'm happy because I was able to break down the door and tell people, hey, we're not just sexual beings. We are actual human beings who want to better ourselves. I felt like, why not tell the world, hey, listen, this was a great accomplishment. No, you're a guy who became a cheerleader. It's really not that big a deal. It really isn't. It's not that big a deal. I was a cheerleader in high school, but I didn't use pom-poms. I would throw the girls up in the air. I would hold like 5 of them, one on my shoulders, one on her shoulders, one on either side. That's what I did. I was the only male cheerleader in Tri-Center High School history, thank you very much. I took a lot of crap about it, but you know what? I got to throw girls in the air. Did you? No, you didn't. He is, now look at this. This article is so messy because it calls her he and then a she and then a whatever. He is preparing to run for global transgender pageant Miss International Queen. Being in the NFL was a stepping stone to get me where I need to be. Stepping stone. If you're trying to walk on stepping stones and heels, it is a biatch, by the way. He also said he hopes his story encourages younger people to go for it. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of guys are going to want to become girls to be cheerleaders or whatever. Okay, sure. Wow. What a groundbreaking. You're an NFL cheerleader. I mean, honestly, NFL cheerleaders were kind of a big deal when I was in 6th grade, and they had the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders poster on my wall. A pretty big deal. Let's move on here. Okay, let's talk about corruption in Minnesota. Minnesota Mayor Aid Abda-Nur Hasalamadama Ding Dong pleads guilty to wire fraud and money laundering. He created a fake NGO and started funneling taxpayer money into donations made to Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar's crooked as the day is long. This Minnesota scandal has duffel bags full of cash, Lamborghinis, kickbacks, trips for El Shaib, a military group, terrorism, stolen funds from these Minnesota schemes estimated in the billions were funneled in informal networks to Somalia, where El Shabaab extorted fees, controls key territories. Federal sources confirm millions reached the Al-Qaeda affiliate. They robbed us blind. The largest funder of El Shabaab is the Minnesota taxpayer. Jacob Fry, the Minneapolis mayor, he let it happen. Tim Woods let it happen. This on top of $250 million for food charities for starving children in COVID. None of it went to feed starving children because there weren't any starving children, although there are a whole hell of a lot of them in Somalia. Here is Tim Wilkane of Fox talking about it.
They brought in families, had them convinced to get their kids diagnosed as autistic.
And this is what they did. They took hundreds of millions of dollars lying about their kids having autism. And the families did it too, by the way. The families got kickbacks for saying their kid had autism. So tell me the Somali community in Minneapolis is not rife with massive corruption.
In fact, these families ultimately ended up having various social services bid for their children, competing with the number size of check that they would get. It didn't matter if the kids had autism.
No.
And what happened? Autism claims to Medicaid surged. In 2018, $3 million. By 2023...
You better listen.
Listen here. From $3 million to $400 million. Autism providers jumped from...
People need to be deported. People need to go to jail for the rest of their stinking, bloody lives.
41 to 328 in 5 years. Now, City Journal reports that the Somali fraud rings send a lot of money back to Somalia.
Because it's such a crap hole.
40% of households in Somalia get remittances from abroad. That totals...
Because the country's such a crap hole.
$1.7 billion. That is more than the entire budget of the Somali government. Money being sent abroad, from abroad, back to Somalia. Where is that money going? Take a look at this. Most alarmingly, a lot of that money is funneled through money traders, and in the end, ends up in the hands of Al-Qaeda-linked Islamic terror group Al-Shabaab. So to bring this full circle, the Minnesota taxpayers are funneling money through fraudulent autism claims back to Somalia, where that money lands in the accounts of Al-Shabaab.
Where the hell are you, Tim Woods? Where are you, you fat tub of lard? Honestly, what a worthless human being. Here's Tim Burchett, Congress, talking about this.
We need to get a hold of these people that are doing this. We need to, within the law, of course, but we need to seize their assets. We need to mark them, not physically mark them, but know who they are so that they will never, ever be able to get back in our country again and deport their ass as fast as possible.
Yeah, and this includes Ilhan Omar, who should be investigated and deported at the minimum. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
rejoin.
Dig it.
Donald Trump's election. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's the Rob Carson Show.
It is. Kaitlin Bennett, the founder of Liberty Hangout, joins us at the bottom of the hour to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. She confronted a lib. I'll play the audio from it. She's very good at doing these approaching, Democrats who are protesting stupid crap. Well, no kings, and then she makes them look like fools. She does it without profanity. She's really something else. Brilliant person. So we will join her at the bottom of the hour. Have her on the show. Shooting at Chicago's Christmas tree lighting event leaves 1 dead and 8 hurt, with terrified families forced to run for their lives. Well, this is Chicago. 1 person killed, 8 others wounded. 9:50 near State and Randolph Streets. 13 to 17 rushed to Stroger and Lurie Children's Hospital is in fairly good condition. Police have not identified a motive. No arrests have been made. Well, it's lawlessness in Chicago under the mayor, Brandon Johnson, who's a complete and utter moron. 30 minutes later, 4 blocks apart, about a 5-minute walk, panic struck again near Adams and Dearborn. There, officers found 2 more victims, 18-year-old man shot in the leg and another person who later succumbed to their injuries at Northwestern Hospital. I am just kind of guessing maybe they're black kids. You know why? Because so many black kids are being murdered in Chicago by other black kids. Yeah, I could say that now. It's not racist or anything. It's just true. And it's freaking sickening, to be quite honest, and I'm about tired of it. Here is Brandon Johnson. It almost, listen to him talk, makes you almost want to say Beetlejuice, 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 so Lori Lightfoot will come back.
Last night, just hours after, more than 20,000 people came downtown to enjoy our annual tree lighting ceremony. There were 2 serious shooting incidents. At around 10 p.m., 7 victims were shot at 164 North State Street, and moments later, there was another shooting at 140 South Dearborn.
Now, a woman was nearly burned to death by a man who'd been arrested 79 times in Chicago. She's only 26 years old, and the rest of her life will be defined by her injury. The rest of her life will be defined by the pain and agony of that injury and the disfigurement and everything that happened. A life ruined by one filthy SOB. You want to hear the judge who did it? The idiot Democrat judge who did it, who should be arrested, should have her law license taken away, should never get a pension or anything, and should be disbarred.
I serve as Vice President for the Office of Inclusion, Diversity, and Equal Opportunity.
Yeah, she's a DEI hire.
The first time I came out on the bench and the deputy announced, all rise, the Honorable Judge Teresa Molina.
Teresa Molina. All of a sudden, she becomes Hispanic.
The whole courtroom stood up, and I was all excited. He's walking out there, and I saw an Illinois State Trooper. He was African-American. He had a sleeve.
Oh, yeah, of course, African-American. Okay, another box checked. Is he a lesbian, too? Could be a male lesbian. Who the hell knows?
Covering his tattoos.
Was he a cheerleader?
And he was standing there, and he looked at me, and he nodded. And I knew what that meant. And so I looked at him and I nodded back like that.
Yeah, and the people who are learning disabled were thrilled that she actually made it into a judgeship.
Right, we're doing this.
Because idiots need representation too.
And it felt so
idiot, just like me.
Good. It felt so good. So to me, a fine of $354, which is our normal no insurance fine, that's a lot of money. And some of the judges that I work with came from money, so $354 is no big deal. But to most of the people that come to my courtroom, it is a big deal. And so I always offer them the opportunity.
Yeah, she's a DEI hire. Something's got to be done about these idiots behind the bench. Something has got to be done about these morons. Oh, there was another shooting. This one in another state, another sanctuary state, North Carolina. Well, there we go. And the ensuing panic.
Everybody move! Everybody out!
What do you think we're trying to do?
Yep, so this happened in Concord. Could be Concord, it's North Carolina. It's Concord in New Hampshire. Could be Concord in North Carolina. Gunfire erupted during the city's annual tree lighting ceremony, leaving 4 people wounded, of which 3 were in critical condition. Police say the shooting broke out 7:30, blah, 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 blah. Sanctuary state there, by the way. They have a real problem with deporting illegals. And in Virginia Beach, there were a couple people arrested. One of them was a school teacher, because you see the Democrat Party has whipped its followers into a lather. They'll do anything. They'll burn Tesla dealerships, and they'll threaten the lives of ICE officers by calling them Nazis and stuff.
2 brothers have been arrested, charged with threatening to shoot police and ICE agents, and one of them is an assistant principal at Kempsville High School. Yesterday, Beach police arrested 54-year-old John Bennett. School officials say he's currently on leave from his position there. The other suspect is...
That's what happens when a bunch of mindless lemmings get told time and time again that ICE agents are Nazis. So that's kind of what happens. No, it is what happens, actually. It is absolutely 100% what happens. Ridiculous. Kennedy Center. I went to the Kennedy Center a couple weeks ago and went up on the balcony, looked at Georgetown, was inspired by the view. It's absolutely gorgeous. And Rick Grinnell is taking over the Kennedy Center, which had become a crap hole.
Well, my first reaction is that Senator Whitehouse, Rhode Island Democrat,
because Senator Whitehouse is mad because they're spending lots of money to fix up the Kennedy Center, which the Democrats made into a hellhole.
On the Kennedy Center board, should show up for some of these meetings. He hasn't been to a single meeting. If he had gone to the meetings, he would understand that President Trump has saved the Kennedy Center. There is no possible way to look at the situation in any other way.
Yeah.
The books were a mess when I walked in. We were paying staff with debt reserves. We didn't have money in the bank. It was chaos when it came to programming. What President Trump said is, let's clean it up. And what we've done is 2 things. We've cleaned up the programming so it's common sense programming. We haven't canceled a single show. What we've said is, if you're going to come to the Kennedy Center, you need to have a combination of either selling tickets or donors or corporate sponsors.
Yep.
Corporate sponsors and donors fled during the last regime. They didn't want to be a part of some of these woke programs. Now that we have common sense programming, they're coming back. We, in one department, Maria, we cut in development from 94 people to 16 people. That department alone is now outperforming. The 16 people are outperforming.
Yeah, they're cleaning up. I went there and it was spotless, man. I went to the Kennedy Center when Barack Obama was the president, and it was nothing compared to now. It is absolutely spotless, just like Union Station here in D.C.
And what President Trump has realized is that if arts institutions want to survive across this country, they're going to have to do common sense programming that appeal to not only ticket sales, but also to corporate sponsors and individuals. People will come out and support these programs if it's common sense programming.
Yeah, not a bunch of woke nonsense. Back to Sheldon Whitehouse.
Yeah, look, this department of 94 people before I got there, which is now 16 people, they raised $101 million, but $26 million was totally fraud. It was phantom revenue. I wished Senator Whitehouse would have done a little bit of research before he did a hit job on us. But now that he has highlighted this, we're going to show that he is not only wrong, but that we're doing an incredible job with what President Trump has given us.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. There you go. He's cleaning up the place. I went there the other night. It was amazing. I'm looking forward to all sorts of great shows at the Kennedy Center because it's our theater. It's our theater. You know, next time you're in town, we'll go see a show. How does that sound? I think it sounds pretty good. Let's take a break and come back. Kaitlin Bennett, founder of Liberty Hangout, joins us on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
Socialist Mom Donnie, a communist. He's a fan of a muss. His win will be New York's loss. He's an extremist, you bet, as New York's gonna get taxed like never before. When Mom Donnie is done, the city will run every grocery store. He'll defund the police and crime will increase as the murder rate begins to soar. Mom Donnie, anti-Jew, he despises Netanyahu. It is really a sin. New Yorkers voted him in. They'll regret that they helped him win.
I love to end a war. How about you? I'm gonna end some more. You know it's true. India, Pakistan are at peace now. No war in Thailand, ceasefire in Iran. I'll take a bow. Rwanda and Congo ended their fight. And in Armenia, I made it right. Next up will be Ukraine, been a financial drain. Not anymore. Oh, how I love ending a war.
Arizona and Corona, all the lies about them they've been telling you. How did they win it? The freaking Senate, when the votes that they received were very few. Don't catch the stupid, don't buy their BS, that climate change is real, inflation's not. Don't catch the stupid, don't believe them, because distraction and diversion's all they got.
We all know that Hurricane Ian was the result of global warming.
Russian collusion led to confusion. January 6th is a smokescreen. The new Green Deal is a disguise steal, like their mandate forcing you to take vaccine. Don't catch the stupid, you just can't do it. That in women's sports, men should compete. They're teaching sex ed in kindergarten. Their destructive policies we must defeat.
Like wear a mask, don't wear a mask.
Statues have fallen, it's so appalling to ignore Hunter's laptop and his theft. Don't catch the stupid, reject their nonsense. Everything is stupid on the left.
The border wall, unfortunately, is cutting through a lot of critical habitat, for example, the butterfly migration pathways.
Yeah. What's more important, butterfly migration pathways or making sure women and children aren't being raped and killed by gang members coming across the border?
Well, most women and children are actually raped and killed by their husbands and family members, statistically.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, if there's extra rapists coming in, then what's the big deal, right?
Honestly, if we could process the backlog of rape kits, then we might actually get some of them convicted.
Wow, that is Kaitlin Bennett talking to a purple-haired libtard. And wow. I don't know if she knows this, but butterflies can fly. It's kind of crazy, right, Kaitlin Bennett?
Yeah, when I was watching that video back, I thought to myself, why didn't I just say butterflies can fly over the wall?
I mean, of all the things, a wall might prevent butterflies. I mean, they're the dumbest butterflies ever.
Maybe they weren't meant to live then.
I swear to God. Kaitlin Bennett is the founder of Liberty Hangout. She is also on Twitter at Kate Marie Ox. And where was that, by the way?
That was in Lakeland, Florida, the good old farmers market that I love to go to and do a little First Amendment auditing.
Yes, and by the way, I saw another piece because they tried to kick you out again, and this time you were loaded for bear, and they had the police over there and everything, and you gave them a little what for, and they had to back off because you had every right to be there, didn't you?
Yes, that it's happened quite a few times.
Unbelievable. You got to be a major pain in their rear ends, I got to tell you. Why do you choose that one?
The specific Lakeland farmers market? Well, because it did just set a precedent for, honestly, this whole state of Florida. Mm-hmm. When I show up to a public area now, we just did it on Saturday. We just went to another market. Yeah. And I like to do that because I promised my audience that I would do a little First Amendment auditing in my own Kaitlin Bennett fashion. And that is having dialogue in the public square. And, that's the type of auditing that I like to do. Yeah. They called the cops on me again on Saturday in DeLand, Florida, which is completely different than Lakeland. Wow. And when the cops showed up, they just looked at me and then just looked down. And I looked at the guy who called the cops, and I said, the whole state knows if they get a call that Kaitlin Bennett's on public property, they just don't even bother with it.
Hell yes! That is a victory with a capital V. You know, I was down at the Lincoln Memorial this week at Lincoln Monument. I hadn't been down in a long time because I moved here, and we walked from the Washington Monument down the reflecting tool, and there was a remnants of a lefty protest. I don't know which one it was, but this dumb jerk was walking away wearing an inflatable unicorn outfit, and he had his head sticking out. It was all sweaty. And I wanted to walk up there and say, "Are you an adult man?" Because honestly, you're acting like a friggin' child. I mean, why don't you go trick-or-treating while you're at it, you idiot? But the usual suspects were there, and my date didn't appreciate me calling them out.
Of course.
She's like, I don't think
they've been in...
Go ahead.
They've been in D.C. all week because they have a big veterans protest going on up there. They bust tons of people into D.C.
Yes.
So it was a big protest. I haven't really seen the media pick up on it, though.
Oh, there were a lot of buses. There were a lot, and there are always buses, but there were a lot of buses right down by the protest. It was breaking out I was yelling things like Trump 2028 and, oh, I guess you guys are off the clock now. Huh? And then my date's going, come on, come on. And nervously, I'm like, oh, come on, I want to be confronted. But you know what's really fun? Some college guys, like around college age, I was saying Trump 28, and they stopped because they were holding these signs that said, whatever, Trump for jail or whatever. And he turned around and goes, hey man, we're here just to give him crap too. We just wanted to grab some signs.
No way? Yes. That's hilarious.
Yes. I was like, this is so cool.
I will tell you. They're very easy to infiltrate. Very easy to infiltrate.
I need to get an inflatable costume. Yes. Or I need to, what a lot of people are doing is they get this, they call it fart spray. And you take this fart spray and where the air intake on the suit is, just give it a little spray. That's what I think I'm going to do.
But hey, when they start whistling in my ear, maybe I got to have one of those on hand to get them out of my space.
Or one of those.
You got the thumbnail on the screen.
Whatever. I know there's a thumbnail on the screen. I had it there for a reason. I was talking to my producer. But you need one of those, compressed air horns. Just whip that out.
Yeah, there you go.
They would just go. They collapse pretty quickly though, don't they? When they're challenged, they collapse very quickly because I like to say they speak in bumper stickers. And that's the depth of their conversation.
It always is. It's always, either they won't talk to me because their leader told them not to, or they can't get past the bumper sticker things like you're talking about. And I'm like, well, give me proof for that. Like, what do you go into depth? And they're like, they always tell me the same thing, watch the news. And I said, well, even better, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, and
you watch the news, then you should be able to tell me.
And then they say, and I've seen this, I'm done with this conversation. Right?
Yes.
Is exactly what, because it's the same formula. I watch this. I watch a lot of your stuff. I'm not a stalker. I just think you're really good.
I'll give your name to my security. Keep an eye on them. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like, who's the guy with the fart spray and the air horn over there? Oh, it's Rob Carson. He's harmless. He's harmless. So I want to ask you about some other stuff, by the way. What do you think about the Seditious Six? There's some rumbling about bringing Mark Kelly back to the military so they can court-martial him. This is unprecedented. We have not seen anything like this in our lifetimes, and there were only things that were similar preceding the Civil War. What are your thoughts on it?
I have not looked into that much,
yeah.
So I don't have any thoughts on there.
Gotcha.
I've been, I'll tell you what, most of my time what I do is be a mom.
Gotcha.
And so little details and little news stories like that, I don't get to keep up to date on them.
Gotcha.
But what you're describing, I definitely want to.
Let me ask you that's perfectly fine, because, you know, you do what you do, and you do it quite well, I might say. But do you feel like, with the combination of Donald Trump declaring Antifa a terrorist organization, with Donald Trump calling the Muslim Brotherhood terrorist organization, with the DOJ and soon, hopefully, the IRS going after these agencies that promote these, do you? I mean, I would hate to see you go out of business, but do you suppose that this is going to have a major impact on ending this temper tantrum that the left has been throwing for the last 10 years?
I hate to be, black pill here, but I don't. They can declare all these organizations, all these groups, terrorist organizations, but at the end of the day, I don't see any of them I don't see a majority of them being prosecuted.
Yeah.
They can still go out there in Portland and do what they're doing. Trump sends in the feds and the military and the National Guard when they're destroying federal buildings, but then they don't end up getting arrested in that.
Yeah.
If these are terrorists, then Trump and the DOJ, they need to arrest them all, and they need to hold them accountable. Just declaring them a terrorist organization is not enough. So that's
100%.
one criticism I would say I have of Trump, is that, put some people in jail.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to do that in places like New York City with these anti-Semitic protests that are growing more dangerous by the minute, and also these anti-ICE protesters. Big plans with the family for Thanksgiving?
We are just going to go over to a friend's house and have some nice quality time. And what about you?
I'm going to be going to Pittsburgh, thank you very much. And I'll see if there are any protests going on, and I'll get some fart spray and an air horn. Kaitlin Bennett,
don't tell anyone else that idea.
You just wait. You're going to be seeing me on the news, girl. I might be being led away in cuffs. Kaitlin Bennett, founder of Liberty Hangout. Where can people find all of your glorious work?
On YouTube at Liberty Hangout.
All right. Have a glorious Thanksgiving. God bless. And we'll talk again soon. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Oh, I got a story. You are not going to believe. It involves a bald eagle and a cat carcass and a woman driving her car. You don't want to go anywhere. This is good. I'm also going to talk about this Kaitlin Ben. She's a spoiled brat who's running for Congress representing Nashville. And she is just a piece of work. She called her constituents basically a bunch of morons, a bunch of hicks. She hates Nashville. She hates the music scene, hates country music. She's trying to dig her way out of that hole. Anyway, it's that time of year. Birch Gold gives away free gold. Gold is over $4,100 again this week. Thank you very much. And just in time for Black Friday, when you convert an existing IRA or 401k into one made with gold, Birch is going to send you free gold for every $20,000 purchased. I had mentioned earlier what you need to be worth to get by as you approach retirement. And if you ain't got $1 million put away, you're going to be in a whole lot of trouble. Whole lot of trouble, although beginning in January, you Social Security recipients aren't going to be taxed anymore on your income. That's going to help. You might even be able to afford some gold. How's that sound? So what you got to do is you got to text my name, Rob, to 989898 to claim your eligibility for a free info kit on gold and the possibility of getting free gold with every $20,000 invested. I trust Birch Gold. They have my money. I don't think it gets any more trusty than that, does it? Does it? Right? Give somebody your money? I'm thinking, yeah, or a wedding ring, but you're going to get screwed with that, so there you go. My wedding ring is made of gold. I need to find the pawn shop. Text Rob to 989898 to claim your eligibility for a free info kit on gold. And your opportunity for free gold with purchase ends November 30th, so don't wait. Text Rob to 989898 for Birch Gold. Here is Democrat Kaitlin Ben, a spoiled, bratty sorority girl running, and she was confronted about how she talked just a couple years ago about defunding the police and how awful the police were. And this is just a couple years ago, which means she still believes it, of course, just like Zoran Mandami believes all the same crap that he spewed during the summer of 2020.
Representative, in 2020, you made some tweets that have since been deleted that were very critical of police. You said in those since deleted tweets that the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department should be dissolved. Yep. Another cheered on a teachers union saying that defund the police should be a requirement for schools reopening. And another saying good morning, especially to the 54% of Americans that believe burning down a police station is justified.
Yeah, that should disqualify her from ever having an elected office. But it didn't stop the AG Democrat who just got elected in Virginia.
2020 was obviously a very fraught year. Do you still stand by those comments?
Listen to this non-answer.
And if not, is there anything you want to clarify?
I'm not going to engage in cable news talking points, but what I will say is that...
it's not a talking point, it's the truth.
our communities need solutions. We need local people deciding.
$10 says affordability in the next sentence.
Solving local problems with local solutions. And that's not the overreach of a federal government or state government of which we are dealing with in Nashville and our cities across the state of Tennessee.
Okay, well, I owe somebody $10. Surprised me. Oh, here she is. I found this footage on the Twitter this morning. 2019, her being arrested, screaming and sobbing as officers dragged her out of the governor's office. You ever see those bratty kids that moms dragged out of the grocery store when they're screaming because they didn't get any candy? That's what it reminded me of. And you always kind of laugh. You laugh at them and you go, and they see you laughing at them and they go, Mommy's laughing at me. And you go, ha, ha, ha. And then when mom looks at you, you go, just look like real stern. I love doing that. This is one of the things I like to do with brats. Did that with some of my nieces and nephews when they were, when I was growing up. It's a great way to get rid of the brattiness. Rhode Island High School announced it's going to cancel the remainder of the school's football season. I was like, what do they do now? Those poor, football players are probably victims of harassment or something. No. These little jerks decided they would whip and torture a special needs student, and they all played along with it. I want you to listen to this.
Okay, Dada.
Say you're sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry, Dada.
No, I said sorry, so sorry.
So.
That's not what I said. I said say sorry. I'm so sorry. Say it.
Sorry, Dada.
And that's how you say that. Say I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
So sorry.
So sorry.
Stupid ass. All
right, there you go. Well, the players there who were laughing at the one player whipping the special ed kid, their season has been canceled. Newport Superintendent Colleen Burns-Germain sent a letter explaining the entirely unacceptable roughhousing scene. It's not roughhousing, it's friggin' bullying. The school's football season has been canceled. It's a serious matter, no gray when it comes to behavior like this. Those involved will face appropriate disciplinary actions in accordance with our district policies. Police officers with the Newport Police Department confirmed that the 16-year-old student who is shown on the video assaulting another student has been charged with 2 counts of assault on persons with severe impairments. And they aren't going to be making it to the playoffs because their season is over. Yay. They shouldn't be allowed to graduate either if they're seniors. They should get their diplomas mailed to them. There you go. How about that? Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All righty. Who's watching here? A lot of people are watching here. Over on the... Da Papaya said, I just love you, Rob, not a weird stalker kind of fan way. I love your patriotism, the way you express it, love your show. Well, you're just now my favorite viewer ever. Thank you. Are you cute and not a psycho? Deplorable Dinosaur, you buy turkeys before or after Thanksgiving to freeze them. It's called planning ahead. Yeah, because they're freaking cheap, man. I saw turkeys for 99 cents a pound before Thanksgiving at the grocery store. Lions Packers will be free on Tubi in 4K and 3D on Thanksgiving. What? Wow. That's pretty cool. I'm going to refresh here, see if I get some new comments. Got a lot of people commenting today on the show. Over on Facebook, Kathy Doman, you're the best Rob. Well, thank you. There are a lot of Robs, and that you think I'm the best Rob is pretty cool because they did like Rob Finnerty and Rob Schmidt and all sorts of. So you think I'm the best Rob? That's fantastic. Competing with a lot of people named Rob, pretty awesome. I get a kick out of me. Carrie Corley Jr., I'm here just working. Well, good. Well, not working totally. I mean, you're watching my show or listening to it, probably listening. Probably listening if you're working, right? Can't believe the price of clothes. Need a pair of jeans. I had to use a fire extinguisher on my wallet. Yeah, I know. I just bought a Christmas outfit for the NEWSMAX Christmas party. Are you ready? Velvet. That's all you need to know. Velvet. And it's cool. It is styling. I'm actually able to buy clothes without considering buying for my children first. Here we go. Come on. All right, so here's a strange story out of North Carolina. Imagine this happening to you as you were driving.
Wild story out of North Carolina tonight. You won't believe what a woman says caused this huge hole in her windshield.
What?
She says a bald eagle dropped a cat.
Now, the driver wasn't hurt. Police say when they arrived at the scene in rural western North Carolina, they found this huge hole in the windshield of a car on the side of the road. Here's the 911 call the driver made to police.
Yeah, listen to this.
You may not believe me, but I just had a bald eagle drop a cat through my windshield, and it absolutely shattered my windshield.
I do believe you, honestly.
Okay, I had a witness. He's like, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, really?
Well, the cat, unfortunately, did not make it. Something similar happened 6 years ago. In 2019, a big catfish crashed through a woman's windshield in North Carolina after reportedly getting dropped by a bird.
There you go. That's the latest. When I was in high school, one of our cats rode under the engine of my car, under the hood in the engine of my car, all the way to my high school, which is about 3 miles away, and ran out from under the car when I parked. That was kind of strange. Cats do that, you know. Yeah. By the way, they're saying the cat was probably dead when the eagle picked it up because trying to wrangle a live cat is not easy to do. And so the eagle probably saw a cat and maybe got hit by. I don't know if I want to go further into it. It's kind of making me sick. Bald eagles typically eat fish, but sometimes do eat roadkill. An eagle can carry food that is about 1/3 of its body weight, which equates to approximately 2 to 3 pounds. Okay, good. My Shih Tzu is not under threat. I always worry about the Shih Tzu. You got to be careful with hawks and stuff outside. Wonder if the hawk could carry away the Shih Tzu. She weighs about 11 pounds, 12 pounds. There's no way. So she would make a huge hole in the windshield. I'll tell you that. Here's that. So. Anti-ICE liberals are staging bizarre Home Depot protests. They're going in and they're buying these ice scrapers for like 79 cents. Then they're immediately returning them, just to be D words for Richard. They're buying 17-cent ice scrapers, then promptly returning the item to clog up the store with nuisance orders. We need to just get in these people's faces. Just get in their faces, cut in line, do whatever it takes, get an air horn, blow it in their faces, whatever the hell. Honestly, quit your damn temper tantrum and get the hell out of my Home Depot. You bring that to my Home Depot, you're going to be in a world of hurt. I'm not going to physically attack you, but I'm going to make it super ugly that you're there. I'm going to make you look like damned fools. Honestly, grow the hell up. I'm just done with the left, to be quite honest. Just done with it. That's going to do it for the show today. I think it was pretty darn amazing. By the way, tomorrow night and Wednesday night, I'm on The Right Squad on NEWSMAX. Chris Plant's show on NEWSMAX. I'm going to be on the panel. Ooh, and you know it's going to be fun. I ordered a jacket. I don't know if it's going to be here by tomorrow night. But if it is, it's going to be funny. Trust me, all right? Download the podcast. Go to your usual podcast platforms. Look up Rob Carson Show and subscribe if you will. God bless you. America is founded. Donald Trump as he makes America even greater. And until tomorrow, which is Tuesday, do not catch the stupid. Love you guys.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is NEWSMAX. It's real news for real.